Hi there everybody in YouTube land, especially y'all guitarists out there. Well, hi there. My name is Lilica65. Yeah, I just want to talk to you about my new guitar that I've sort of made. Well, I haven't made it obviously, it's the SP Viper 50. But what I have done is I've turned it into a Viper Junior. Now, I got this guitar from a guy on eBay for 85 quid. It was a nice all-round guitar, but it just wouldn't intonate. It was set up in the factory probably, and he never probably even touched it. It was, the tunematic bridge was set perfectly, with the E string furthest back and blah blah blah, sort of in the middle of the bridge. And it just wasn't, it was terrible, it was awful, you couldn't play chords at the top, you couldn't play chords at the bottom, every string was completely out. And the bridge had to be moved further back. So I looked at it and thought, well, this is a bit of a skank, what am I going to do? So I filled in the holes in mahogany dowel, and I got this cheap Chinese crap wrap over bridge. I mean, it is crap, it's looking sick out and mauled. Those have been just, dead by a cheap bridge. The bridge is an integral part of your guitar, but I didn't want to spend that much money. And the thing is, I couldn't get what I wanted, which was the normal compensated wrap over bridge for a Les Paul or an SG Junior. I just couldn't find one anyway, in left hand. Now they make these guitars left-handed, so they must do the bridges in left-handed as well, but I just couldn't find one anywhere. And short of writing to Gibson, which I don't want to do, because they're cunts, I thought, yeah, I'll get a cheap one of these, which is a wrap over tunematic bridge. And it's fucking shit, it really is crap. I put in a Seymour Duncan SP1 pickup, which gives it a bit of 1950s twang, because it's a faithful reworking of the Gibson P90 from the 50s. It's got the same spool and everything, and they got a really nice sound. Same amount of wire, but it's like I say, it's a virtual copy of the 1950s Gibson pickup, but with a bit of Seymour Duncan know-how added onto it, which makes it really good. Got off eBay for £29 brand new, which is a big bargain because it's 65 in GAC, and it was a pickup I was definitely considering. So I got a real bargain there. I got out a scratch plate out of this mirrored material. That was the cheapest thing I could actually find. It cost me a £5, whereas if I wanted to do it in black, or white, which I probably would have preferred, that would have cost me about 20 quid. So I kept the price down, did that. I spent more money on the harness than virtually anything else. Like, the capacitor cost 10 quid on its own. That was like a Bumblebee capacitor, which is the same capacitor from the 50s Les Pauls, 500k pot, 250k pot, all the same wiring as the original 1950s Les Paul Junior, classic vintage heads. Increase on the guitar. Quite like it with the tone off actually, that's really sort of just a bit on like. So it's got a nice sound to it. I mean, it's got a bit of classic, if I put like a fuzzy sound on to my Zoom GFX1, you can see there's quite a bit of classic P90 60 cycle hum. And that's quite a lot of, that's dynamite hum really. But but it's okay if the guitar's on the strap, it's fine. The only problem is, when I'm sat down at home, I've sort of leaned back a bit, like, I'm playing like that, and there's a bit of hum there, but nothing to really write home about, And the sound, like I say, is pretty awesome, I mean, it's got a really nice neck. I've got a slight bit of relief in the neck. I do have to, however, change the nut. The nut is wrong. The D string is far too low. The E string is very quiet, and it must be something to do with the nut. So I'm probably going to get a brass one if I can find one. I haven't tuned it since last night. I was playing it like crazy last night because I just finished it last night, you know. So I thought I'd just. That's just do my shitty little 10-watt amp and the Zoom effects pedal, you know. So nothing strenuous at all. If I ever play it to the Marshall stack, it should sound great. Yeah, so that's my new guitar. Like I say, it's a cheap way of getting a really good sound. You need for the P90 to work well, you need a good solid body, a good hardwood body, you know, a good mahogany body, really, because it adds that extra sustain. And also a really nice, I think an ebony or rosewood neck, or fretboard at least, you know, is sort of a prerequisite really. You know, I mean, if you ever tried the sound of one of these in a Fender or something like that, when it's just got the maple neck, it doesn't sound so good, you know. I really think the maple neck just doesn't, I mean, it's great for twang, but it doesn't really give that same effect as a good rosewood one does, or an ebony one. You know, so that's my new guitar. Altogether, the car was 75 quid, the pickup was 30 quid. That was a tenner. The Hollanders cost 20 quid. That was a fiver. I had to get a new machine head, which was a five. It was 6 quid because they had the silver one on there. I just couldn't take the fact that there was one silver machine head. That was the most bugging thing about this guitar, you know. And set new strings. And that should lot of it sold in a bit of time. Obviously, I had to cut the scratch plates, so I did that with I started with a hacksaw, then ended up doing it with a router. I was too lazy, so I just hacked it to death with a router, and sort of made it look half decent. And you know, how rock and roll is that? I mean, it's pretty rock and roll, wouldn't you say? I would. Well, it's certainly definitely punk rock and roll. You know, and it's got like I say, it's got a not bad tone. So there you go. Nice cheap alternative to spending 800 quid on the guitar.